Hello, sports fans. It is Tuesday, July the 21st, the year 2015. And as always, a lot to get to in the sports world, so let's get it going right now. Great to be back with you guys. Hope you guys are enjoying your summer. All I can say is, when does football start? I am dying for football to get here. There is not much going on in the sports world these days. The summer is a very, very slow time in the sports world. When is football getting here? I know training camps open up soon. Preseason games start in early August. I cannot wait for college and NFL football to get here. We need it in the worst way. It is a slow time in the sports world. I mean, I know we had the All-Star game in baseball last week. I told you I'm not a big All-Star game lover. I don't love home field advantage being determined by the All-Star game. I don't get into the home run derby. I know the home run derby was a little more exciting this year because they changed the format and you had Frazier, who plays in Cincinnati, win the home run derby, but I don't get into the home run derby. I don't love the All-Star game. The AL wins the All-Star game. They have home field advantage in the World Series. I can't get into that. I can't get into the Summer League basketball. I know the Spurs won the Summer League title. I know Becky Hammon coaches the team, and that's a nice story, but I can't get into Summer League NBA basketball. And don't take Summer League NBA basketball too seriously. I know a lot of people do. They see these guys, scoring a bunch of points in the Summer League. Just because you do well in the Summer League doesn't mean you're going to do well in the NBA or have like a tremendous season. I mean, to me, those games are practice games. Those are scrimmage games, so I can't get into the NBA Summer League. I couldn't get into the ESPYs last week. I couldn't get into that at all. I don't like any award shows anymore, whether it be the Oscars or the Grammys or the ESPYs. There's too much junk. I mean, there's too much fill-up time. Everyone wants to be funny and make jokes. I mean, so I couldn't get into the ESPYs. I can't get into the Pan American Games. That used to be, a big event. Now it's kind of a smaller event. It's kind of like a smaller version of the Olympics. The United States and Canada are winning all the medals up there in Canada. I can't get into that. I can't get into the Tour de France anymore. I used to like the Tour de France, but ever since Lance Armstrong and all the doping, I can't get into the Tour de France anymore. So I need football in the absolute worst way. Anyway, without further ado, let's go through our Major League Baseball standings as we get to the second half of the season here in baseball. We still got a long time to go in baseball. We still got the rest of July, all of August, all of September, and then into October. The baseball season goes on forever. But anyway, let's go through the standings real quick. As far as the American League East, the Yankees playing really well at 50-41. They have a nice 4-game lead in the division. I'll tell you, I did not think the Yankees were going to be this good this year. I thought they were going to have all sorts of problems. I never thought Teixeira would have this many home runs. He stayed healthy. He's having a great season as far as the home runs. Alex Rodriguez is doing well with the home runs. A-Rod has said and done all the right things this year. I never thought the Yankees would be this good this year. I thought they'd be a bad team, a mediocre team at best, but they are showing me a lot this year. They're in first place. They are 4 games ahead of Baltimore, 4.5 over Toronto, 5 over Tampa Bay. All those teams are kind of around 500. They've been milling around 500 the whole year. They have winning streaks, they have losing streaks, and they just end up at 500 all the time. I don't know if we can take any of those 3 teams too seriously. I always find myself underwhelmed when I'm talking about Toronto. I think they should be better than they are. Boston having a miserable season at 9 out. I can't see them making any moves. I mean, Boston really a bad year. So to me, it looks like the Yankees division to win. I mean, I don't know if any of these teams can catch the Yankees. I mean, they're so mediocre. Baltimore, Toronto, Tampa. I mean, I just don't know if they can catch the Yankees. I think it's the Yankees division to win at this point. As far as the Central, Kansas City looks like one of the best teams in baseball again. They have a 5.5 game lead over Minnesota. Minnesota is doing a tremendous job this year. They are right in the hunt for the wild card. Detroit 9.5 back. What happened to the Tigers? Cabrera hurt. Verlander not the same pitcher. I mean, the Tigers, what a disastrous year they're having. They were supposed to be much, much better than this. So the Tigers not doing well at all. Cleveland and Chicago, forget about them. As far as the American League West, Angels are in first place. How about a couple weeks ago when everyone said fire Mike Scioscia? And I said, keep Mike Scioscia as the manager. He's a good baseball man. Keep Mike Scioscia. What happens? The Angels go on a big run. They go into first place. They pass Houston. Mike Trout is an unbelievable player. Pujols having an amazing season. Really nice job by the Angels. The Angels are a team that's always there in the end. Keep Mike Scioscia as your manager. He's a good baseball man. Houston, as I mentioned, they are 2 games back. They have not been playing as well lately. Hey, you couldn't expect Houston to continue on the pace they were on. I mean, they're having a very good season, but let's give them a break. I mean, they have so many young players. They're still right there for the wild card. Texas, Oakland, and Seattle, I can't see them doing anything. Seattle has had a disastrous season. What's happened to them this year? To me, as far as when I look at the American League, to me, I think it's going to be the Angels, Kansas City, and the Yankees winning the division. And I think Minnesota and Houston are going to win your wild card. I mean, I don't like what I see from Detroit this year. I don't like what I see from, Tampa. They're kind of mediocre. Toronto's kind of mediocre. Baltimore's kind of mediocre. Other than that, there's not much going on. All the teams outside of those teams are all playing badly. So to me, I think it's going to be Yankees, Kansas City, Angels, and I think Minnesota and Houston win the wild card. But we still have all sorts of time to go in baseball. As far as the National League East, Washington leading the division. They are up 3 games over the New York Mets. I think it's Washington's division. I've been saying it from the start. When Washington gets healthy, I expect them to pull away in this division. Washington has a solid team. Harper is having an amazing season. Washington is a threat to get to the World Series. The Mets are 3 back. The Mets pitching is very good. They're going to have good pitching for years to come. The Mets can't hit at all, though, and with David Wright out, they can hit even less. They have nobody in the lineup. I mean, the Mets cannot hit at all. As good as the Met pitching is, that's how bad their hitting is. The Mets need some bats in the worst way. Now, I don't break up their pitching staff to go get a few bats. If I'm the Mets, I'd be very patient. I mean, maybe I ride out this year, try and sign some bats in the offseason. You don't want to start dealing all your young pitchers. I mean, you want to say maybe you want to trade Nice, maybe for a bat. You don't want to start trading, the core pitchers of this team. Keep them intact. It's easier to find a bat than a pitcher. So the Mets, they need some bats, but their pitching is solid. Should keep them in the race the whole way. Atlanta 7 out, Miami 13 out. I told you about Miami, totally overrated, and forget about Philadelphia. As far as the Central, hey, St. Louis, we know. They're one of the best teams in baseball. They're the best team in the National League right now. I mean, every year St. Louis does it. They lose Wainwright, no big deal. They keep rolling on. They have a 4-game lead over Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh looks like a solid team. They look like a definite playoff team. If they can't catch St. Louis, I expect Pittsburgh to win the wild card. Cubs 8.5 out, but they're still right there for that second wild card. Forget about Cincinnati and Milwaukee. As far as the NL West, listen, I would be shocked if the Dodgers didn't win this division. I expect the Dodgers to make some moves. They have plenty of money, plenty of prospects. The Dodgers can make some moves at the deadline. Expect the Dodgers maybe to go get another pitcher with Ryu out. We'll see if they move Puig. There's been rumblings about Puig, how a lot of the players don't get along with him. We'll see about that. But I think the Dodgers will win this division. Right now, they're 3.5 games up on San Francisco. You never count out San Francisco, but I don't think they can catch the Dodgers. Now, the Giants are right there for the wild card. I think they can contend for the wild card, but I cannot see them catching the Dodgers, although they are only 3.5 games out. San Diego, they have won 5 straight, but they're still 8.5 out. They're still 5 under. Maybe they're starting to turn it around. They've been a major disappointment this year. Arizona and Colorado, forget about them. When I look at the National League, to me, I think it's Washington, St. Louis, and the Dodgers. And to me, I think Pittsburgh is going to be one of those wild card teams, and then it's a battle between the Cubs, the Giants, and the Mets for the last wild card spot. I can't see anybody else contending. I mean, Atlanta, Miami, Philly, Cincinnati, Milwaukee, Arizona, Colorado, they're all bad teams. San Diego, I mean, they still got a lot of work to do. As I said, they're playing better, but I don't believe in them right now. So to me, I think it's Washington, St. Louis, Dodgers. Pittsburgh wins one of the wild cards, and then the Cubs, Giants, and Mets battle for that second wild card spot. That's where you are in your baseball. I did watch a lot of the British Open golf over the weekend. I mean, I know we had a couple of delays. They had to go to Monday because a couple of the, one of the rounds was washed out with the bad weather and the high winds and all that. Zach Johnson wins the British Open. Once they got to playing, there was some really tremendous golf. It was really exciting stuff. Zach Johnson wins in the 3-man playoff. Great job by him. Like I said, Really exciting golf. I know it had to be moved to Monday because of the weather, but it was some really riveting golf. Spieth finished fourth. He played well, but came up a little short. Of course, Tiger Woods did not even make the cut. Tiger Woods continues to struggle. And I know a lot of people that think Tiger Woods is going to catch Jack Nicklaus for the most majors. I'm sorry. I got to get off that bandwagon now. I thought at one point for sure he was going to do it. I don't know. To ask Tiger Woods to now win 4 or 5 majors at his stage of the game after he hasn't won a major in 10 years with all his injuries, as bad as he's been playing. I mean, I never want to count out Tiger Woods because of his ability. I don't think it's going to happen. Plus, you look at all these good young golfers that are coming off. The competition is getting much, much harder. And then we'll see if McIlroy gets back. McIlroy, of course, hurts his foot playing basketball, so he misses the playing soccer, I should say. So he misses the British Open. We'll see when he gets back. Like to have McIlroy back out there. So I did watch some of the golf. The golf was very, very good over the weekend. You got some Gold Cup soccer. The United States men's national team plays Jamaica tomorrow in the semifinals. Mexico plays Panama in the second semifinal game from Atlanta. The winner of those 2 games plays in Philly for the championship. This Gold Cup is important. If the United States wins this Gold Cup, they go right into the Confederations Cup in Russia in a couple years. That's a very important tournament. That's the tournament a year before Russia hosts the World Cup. So it's a very important tournament for the United States. If the United States loses this tournament, they will play the winner of this tournament in a 1-game playoff to see who goes to that Confederations Cup. So the United States has 2 chances to get to the Confederations Cup. And that would be an important event for the United States to get to that Confederations Cup in Russia. I know a lot of you guys don't like soccer, but with not a lot going on, maybe check out a little Gold Cup tomorrow. United States, Jamaica, Mexico, Panama in the semifinals from Atlanta. I heard some rumors about boxing coming up soon. I heard Mayweather's next opponent might be Berto. Oh, please let that not be true. Imagine Mayweather and Berto. I mean, Berto, what does he have, like 6 losses? I mean, come on. He's not in the same stratosphere as Mayweather. No one wants to see that. There's a couple of good young fighters I'd like to see Mayweather fight. Berto, I mean, that's almost as bad as if he would fight Khan. It might be worse, actually. I can't get into that fight at all. That's the rumors I'm hearing about that, but I don't want to see Mayweather against Berto. That is an absolutely awful fight. Let's hope that's not true. So there you go. You guys are all caught up. I know it's a slow time in the sports world. Besides your Major League Baseball, you don't have that much else going on. It's a slow time, but football will be here before you know it. Training camps open soon. Preseason starts in early August, and then we get to our NFL and college football around Labor Day. I think around Labor Day the college football starts, then the week after the NFL starts. Labor Day's a little later this year, so we have to wait an extra week. I cannot wait till football gets here. I mean, it is a slow time in the sports world. Like I said, there's only so much NBA Summer League I can watch. There's only so much ESPYs I can watch. There's only so much Tour de France I can watch. There's only so much Pan Am games I can watch. I mean, there is not much going on other than Major League Baseball, and baseball can be tedious as it is. So many games, the games take forever, the season goes on forever. So right now is a slow time in the sports world, but hang in there, football is around the corner. You guys, thanks as always for your support. You guys stay safe, enjoy your summer. I will be back with you very, very soon. Thanks again. Take care.